8:30 खा लिया मैंने पोहे. Good morning, everyone. It's the exercise. The two type of respiration are, answer is C, aerobic and anaerobic. Page number 67. Answer C, aerobic and anaerobic respiration. The complete breakdown of food takes place in aerobic respiration. The end product of aerobic respiration is carbon dioxide, water, both of these, or glucose. And the answer is C, both of these. The end product of anaerobic respiration are, answer is B, carbon dioxide and ethyl alcohol. The front opening of the trachea is guarded by the larynx. Answer D. Six. The lungs rest on the sheet of muscles called diaphragm. It is B. Fill in the blanks. The process of breakdown of food to release energy for various body activities is called respiration. Is called respiration. The trachea divides into two tubes. Each tube is called bronchus. The microscopic sacs of lungs are called alveoli. E-O-L-I. Alveoli. The main function of the alveolus is the exchange of gases. Now check your answer. Pick the correct option. C, B, C, D and D. And last one is B. Fill in the blanks. First answer is respiration, then bronchus, alveoli and gases. Have you completed this?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
The next topic. Phases in the process of respiration. There are three phases in the process of respiration. phases of respiration. First one is breathing. We all know what is breathing. Taking in oxygen and releasing carbon dioxide from the body is known as breathing. It contains two methods. One is inhalation and other is exhalation. It involves two steps, inhalation and exhalation. The taking in of air rich in oxygen into lungs is called inhalation. It has two steps. Inhalation means taking oxygen from the atmosphere. Another is exhalation. In this process, giving out the air rich in carbon dioxide from the lungs is called exhalation. Giving out CO2. Both the states collectively known as breathing. Breathing is a continuous process. It occurs throughout the life of an organism. The another step is gaseous transport. The air rich in oxygen passes through the respiratory passes and reaches the lungs. When the different passes of respiratory system like trachea, lungs, pharynx, bronchi, when they reaches to the lungs, the respiratory passes is first it enters from the nose, then moving towards the pharynx, then trachea. After that it reaches to bronchi, then bronchioles, and at last it reaches to the alveoli. The alveoli are the surrounded by blood capillaries. These alveoli is having the blood capillaries. Oxygen from the inhaled air diffuse into the blood from the alveoli. These alveoli is having oxygen which we are inhaled from the breathing. These oxygen reaches to the blood capillaries and diffuse into the hemoglobin. Then hemoglobin is known as oxyhemoglobin due to the presence of oxygen. The oxygen combined with the hemoglobin. What happened here? Hemoglobin and oxygen. Now it turns into oxyhemoglobin. Blood cell. It carried from the lungs to the different parts of the heart through this hemoglobin, and it turned into oxyhemoglobin, then reaches to the all parts of the body. Oxygen is used and carbon dioxide is released. Oxygen is used in respiration or oxidation of the food, and the process in oxidation, it releases carbon dioxide which is again diffused into the hemoglobin, and then same path it follows and move out from the body with the exhalation. It carries back to the lungs. Oxyhemoglobin. Oxygen passes to the whole part of the body.
Ma'am, do the camera upside.
Okay. Oxygen passes to the all body parts. With blood. In each and every cell, during the oxidation, there is a formation of carbon dioxide take place, and these carbon dioxide again diffuse in the blood and moving out from the body by the process of exhalation. Oxygen enters in the body and CO2 released from the body. This is the alveoli. Blood capillaries. This alveoli is having the blood capillaries. These are the blood capillaries. Flowing from alveoli carries oxygen. This oxygen enters in the blood capillaries, and from this blood, carbon dioxide released in the alveoli. This is the process of exchange of gases in human being. It diffuses into the alveoli from the blood. It is then removed from the body with the exhaled air. And the third step of respiration is the cellular respiration. In this process, the inhaled oxygen is transported to the whole body parts. It is used for the breakdown of food, and this oxygen is used to break down of glucose. To produce energy. The process of breakdown of food or glucose in the cell to release energy is known as cellular respiration. The process is known as cellular respiration. It is also called internal respiration. The process is also known as internal respiration. It is a biochemical processes. These processes take place in all body cell. This cellular respiration take place in all cell. Due to this, it is having the name cellular respiration. Occurs partially in the mitochondria and partially in the cytoplasm of the cell. There is cellular respiration take place in two species. One is partially in mitochondria and partially in cytoplasm. So it is known as biochemical process. Bi means two. It complete in two steps, mitochondria and in cytoplasm. There is a difference between breathing and respiration. What are the differences between breathing and respiration are breathing and respiration. Mechanism. It's a physical process. There is no chemical changes take place here. It's a biochemical process. In this process, the exchange of gases take place. Exchange of gases. It means oxygen enters in the body and carbon dioxide released from the body. In this step, it's a breakdown of food or glucose. Digested food, breakdown of digested food. In case of energy, energy is not released in breathing. But in respiration, energy is released. Occurrence. It takes place in the respiratory organ. Respiratory organ like nose, trachea, bronchi, lungs, and it takes place in cells. It occurs inside the cell. Enzyme. Enzymes are not involved in this process. In breathing, enzymes are not involved. Enzymes are involved at a certain stage. These are the differences between breathing and respiration. It is clear to you? Yes?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Once again, we have an exercise. Look at the exercise. The taking in of air rich in oxygen into the lungs is called inhalation. A. Then the giving out the rich in carbon dioxide from the lungs is called exhalation. Answer B. The correct order of organ in the respiratory passes is nose, pharynx, trachea, bronchi, bronchioles, and alveoli. The answer is B. The exchange of gases occurs in trachea, alveolus, bronchus, or nose. What is the answer? Yeah? Answer is B. Alveolus. B. Is it true or false? breathing is a biochemical process. It is false. It's a physical process. We have to rewrite the sentence, so write it again. Breathing is a physical process. Next, oxygen is absorbed by blood in the lungs. Yes, answer is true, because alveoli are present in the lungs, so the oxygen absorption of oxygen take place in lungs. In the lungs, energy is released during the breakdown of food. False. In place of lungs, it will be cell. In the cell. In the cell, energy is released during the breakdown of food. Energy is released okay. The next is mechanism of breathing. Mechanism of breathing. Everything is clear to you?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. The next topic is mechanism of breathing.
Ma'am, do the camera upside.
Breathing takes place with the help of ribs and diaphragm. In breathing, there is ribs and diaphragms are involved. During inhalation, what is happen? When we breathe in air, the ribs move upwards and outwards. See, check when you are breathing, see that our ribs are upward and backward. When we are taking in oxygen, our ribs are outwards, moving outwards. And when we are giving out carbon dioxide, it moves downwards. The process of inhalation, it takes two steps. The ribs move upward and downwards. The diaphragm contracts and moves downwards. Upward and downwards. And next is the diaphragm contract and moves downwards. This process the space in the chest cavity. This all is happened in the chest cavity. When the volume of air increases in the chest cavity, it increases lungs and lungs expand. Air pressure become low. The air rushes into the lungs. The lungs get filled with the air. The process is known as inhalation. During exhalation, what happen here? It's just opposite to the inhalation. The ribs move downwards and inwards, and the diaphragm relaxes and moves upward to its original position. In first case, ribs upwards and outwards, but in second case, diaphragm moves upward and upward to its original situation. The decrease of space in chest cavity. Due to the exhalation of air, the chest cavity decreases in size. When the volume of the chest cavity decreases, lungs contracts, air pressure increases and rushes to the out from the lungs. The lungs get emptied and contracted. This is the process of inhalation and exhalation. Breathing is an involuntary process. It is not in our control. Breathing is involuntary process. It is not depend on our will. It is continuous process throughout the life. We cannot control it to a certain limit. We can hold our breath for 1 or 2 minutes only. After that, we cannot control our breath, but not for a longer duration. Let us perform an activity to understand the mechanism of breathing. First, we have to take differences between inhalation and exhalation. We will see this activity in next period. Differences between exhalation and inhalation. Movement of air. In exhalation, air rich in oxygen flows into the lungs. Flows into the lungs. Then, just opposite, air rich in oxygen. Oh, sorry, carbon dioxide. And release from the lungs. Movement of ribs. Ribs move upward and outwards. In case of exhalation, ribs downwards and inwards. Just opposite. Upward, opposite of upward is downwards. And outward, opposite of outward is inward. Movement of diaphragm. Diaphragm contract and moves downwards. Contract and moves downwards. Just opposite, in exhalation, in place of contract, diaphragm relax or expand. Volume of chest cavity. Volume of chest cavity increases and in this exhalation decreases. The last one is volume of lungs. The lungs expand, the volume of lungs increases. Lungs expand and volume increases. Lungs contract and volume decreases. These are the differences between inhalation and exhalation. Have you any doubt? Yes? Do you want to ask anything? Okay, next topic we will see in our next class on Monday. After this chapter, we are having two chapters. The another is circulatory system and health and hygiene. Two chapters are remaining. Okay. Now I am leaving the class.
Okay, ma'am.
Have a good day.